Hey guys, Neomis here. Now for today's video I want to talk about transfers, and we got to talk about Arsenal's latest transfer. I thought we'd have a bit of a discussion. So we now have Nuno Tavares, who has been confirmed as an Arsenal player. We have Ben White, who's been confirmed as an Arsenal player, and yesterday we had Albert Sambi Lokonga has been confirmed as an Arsenal player. It's on the Arsenal website. If you've been living under a rock, go and check out arsenal.com to be able to check out that news, and everywhere on social media. But you have to start to wonder. We are 3 weeks into the transfer window. We've signed 3 players and we have 6 weeks to go. Who else are Arsenal looking to sign to bring in for this football club? There are lots of areas in which we as a club need to do, lots of positions that need to be identified, and we're not going to get all of them done. I'll say this right now, Arsenal fans. Like, even though I know there are talks about how Arsenal have a war chest, no we don't. I refuse to believe we have a war chest. But I do think that there are some priority signings that Arsenal will work on, and I think that the 3 that we've gotten are the priority signings. Now, I do believe that in terms of signings going forward, I think that they are all predicated upon Arsenal selling players in order to be able to come in. But I think that there are certain positions that are more important than others. So when you look at the rumours that Arsenal are linked with right now, so you've got goalkeeper, we're linked with Aaron Ramsdale, and Bernd Leno has already said that he isn't going to sign a new contract. I don't know if that's the actual case with Bernd Leno or if that's missing something else behind it, like right now. You know, maybe Bernd Leno wants to see what happens and then go through from there. But there were talks a few weeks ago about Arsenal offering Bernd Leno a new contract, and that they would be hoping to keep Bernd Leno at Arsenal. So you never know what could happen there. I think Bernd Leno is a decent keeper. He definitely is better than the position that we are right now. Is he a top draw keeper? No, but I think he's better than an 8th place team. But let's see what happens there. The other position on players that are looking to leave, Hector Bellerin, still talks about him and Inter Milan, still talks about him and Villarreal. It's not going away when it comes to Hector Bellerin, and I would expect him to be sold this summer at some point. I don't know when that's going to be, but I do think that something's going to happen there. Callum Chambers, there's some little bit of rumblings about him. Cedric's not going anywhere. Then there's Maitland-Niles, who previously we talked about wanting to leave Arsenal, but he still is playing in pre-season, and I wouldn't look at that in too much depth because Mikel Arteta, no matter if they want to leave or they're not, Mikel Arteta is going to play them. Like Reece Nelson, who was linked away, I saw him like a picture of a rumour to him and Brighton, which was, I thought was telling with everything that's going on. You've got Joe Willock that's been linked with Newcastle, and I mean, I'm hearing from people who are sources at Arsenal that the young players aren't happy and they want to leave. So the fact that Joe Willock himself has requested to go back on loan to Newcastle says everything. I think it's so sad because Arsenal could do with a goal scorer midfielder like Joe Willock. I've said it time and time again, we need goals, and we could do with someone like Willock in that midfield, either as your number 8 or like a number 10. Figure out a way to get the best out of Joe Willock, because he clearly has potential to score some goals. And I'm not the one to believe that, oh, that was just an accident, that he didn't intend on scoring those goals. I believe that he has quality to score goals on a regular basis, and I would love for him to do at Arsenal. Granit Xhaka, he's another one that's linked away to Roma, and the talks were yesterday that he's ready to go, and it's just a matter of Roma and Arsenal coming up with a deal to be able to really get things done. And like, at the end of the day, we as fans want that to happen, especially people like myself who are not really Granit Xhaka fans. He's a good player, but in terms of being in the Premier League shows his weaknesses, and he has trouble beating the press, and is subject to him making a lot of mistakes, making a lot of rash tackles, picking up silly yellow and red cards. Like, we just don't have time for it. And for me, I'm ready to see Granit Xhaka go. Now, there are talks on other players that I'll get into at the minute. And then the other players that has been linked away is Alex Lacazette. He's been linked away with Arsenal. Not that much news on him as well for that. And the same thing there goes for like Smith Rowe. Aston Villa said to be sniffing around, but supposedly Arsenal are in contract talks with Smith Rowe and are close to kind of finalising the deal. But let's see what really happens there. And a player that I wished Arsenal were linked to giving away, Willian, still is on the books, and hopefully Arsenal manage to get him off the books and to bring somebody else in return for him. But in terms of who is coming in, this is the key thing. Who is coming in for Arsenal? I don't feel we're going to get another right back. I'll make this clear right now. When you have 4 players that can play right back in Maitland-Niles, Bellerin, Callum Chambers and Cedric Soares, and you are only playing in the Premier League, and you've got Nuno Tavares who could also play as a right back, you really only need 2. Only 2 players that's needed, and for me that's going to be Callum Chambers, because it's Callum, and Callum has been playing at right back now from almost the time that he's come back from injury. And then Cedric Soares, who has a long-term contract with Arsenal. I believe he's got 3 years left, and unless another team are interested in buying him, I don't see why he would want to leave Arsenal to go anywhere else. Maitland-Niles, I think, will leave, and so do I think Hector Bellerin, I think, will leave as well. So I think in terms of the right back position, we are done for now. I think maybe in another season or 2, we could start focusing on bringing in a right back, maybe going for maybe a younger option there. But right now, right back is not a critical position to kind of really be going after. Goalkeeper-wise, could be a bit of an issue. Aaron Ramsdale is the one that's linked. The Sheffield United goalkeeper, and I think a lot of Arsenal fans have heard of him. I do have to say, first of all, I've seen Aaron Ramsdale live a couple of years ago when he was on loan at AFC Wimbledon. He is a good goalkeeper. However, I don't think Ramsdale is as good as even Leno right now. And therein lies the problem. I think Ramsdale he's decent and he's young. Well, you know, he could still improve. But I wouldn't go with Ramsdale. If you want me to be really honest, I wouldn't go for Ramsdale right now to be our number 1. I would see Ramsdale as a young number 2 that you probably have in a side that maybe you have like a 35-year-old experienced goalkeeper to be your main, and then you have like a Ramsdale there to be your number 2, and then you could have an Arthur Nkonkwo there, who I believe is 19 going on 20, as your third choice goalkeeper. And let's not forget, we also got Carl Hein as well. Don't know how he's going to fit in the setup. I thought he has had 2 decent kind of pre-season games, so maybe he might get a chance as an Arsenal number 2 if Arsenal do sign Aaron Ramsdale. But that's one to really look out for. Then there's Granit Xhaka. So we all know Granit Xhaka's linked away, that deal will most likely get done and will probably be the next deal to get done. And the guy that everyone's linked with is Ruben Neves. I know everybody wants to see Basuma, but I can't see it. If you know, I think Mikel Arteta likes Granit Xhaka, and I think it's just everything that's happened with Granit Xhaka over the past year and a half. I think now is the right time to sell Xhaka. Arsenal shouldn't give him a new deal, and this is the right moment. But you want to bring somebody in that can do what he can do, and probably still have some sell-on value, which seems to be the remit that Arsenal are kind of going after, in that they're bringing players with sell-on value. And the part that I like is that Ruben Neves could easily be a player of that. He's got Premier League experience. I like him. I know some people probably don't feel that way, but I think that he could do a job for Arsenal in that midfield, going up with Tavares there on his left, both Portuguese-speaking players, so it makes sense. And then you've got Martinelli, Brazilian, Portuguese-speaking Brazilian, there ahead of him. Like, it just makes sense. So I'd love to see that. I think he would fit well with Arsenal. I think he's 24 years old, so he still has some good kind of sell-on value. You know, even if he does turn out to be a very, very good player. I think he's a good player right now, but he does have a ceiling, in my opinion, to continue growing. And then finally, Lacazette. So with Lacazette, I like Lacazette. He's not a clinical striker, but he does give Arsenal everything that they need. Holds the ball up well, technically good on the ball, scores goals, really good with his feet, brings in other people into play, a lot of the other midfielders, a lot of wide players. He just is a value-added asset, and the talks are that Arsenal have offered him a new deal, but he is interested in some new challenges. And I could completely understand why he would want a new challenge with everything that's going on. But I'd want to keep Lacazette. And I think win, lose or draw, even if Arsenal aren't able to sell him, I think Arsenal should continue to start him. Use the next 12 months to look for another kind of striker, or maybe send Balogun out on loan for a season. Let him get some regular first team minutes where he could work on his game. And then once Lacazette leaves, maybe at the end of next season, then you bring in someone like a Lacazette, like a Balogun in to kind of replace Lacazette in that kind of hold up mode, bring your wide players into play, and potentially even score some goals there as well. Now, I know I didn't talk about kind of other players, some like young players like Reiss Nelson, who are linked with away, Joe Willock, who are linked away, Eddie Nketiah, who are linked away as well. And it's a shame that not all of them are going to get chances. I think probably Joe Willock will probably be the one to get chances. But you would have to say that Arsenal are probably going to sell Eddie Nketiah and Reiss Nelson. And I'm not quite sure if Arsenal are going to replace them. I think long term, maybe, like next season, once we have more games, once we're back in Europe, where you could say it's okay to have like a bigger squad. But I expect Arsenal to have a smaller squad, to be really honest. I think 2 players per position is how it's going to go. And I think that's how it probably has to be with Arsenal right now. So let's see what happens. I'm very excited with how things are going right now. Even though I have my thoughts on Ben White, which is that the price is a little bit expensive. But you could understand why, what Arsenal want. Arsenal want more on the cheaper end, which would have been more that kind of 35 to 40. But Brighton, obviously, they want to get the max that they possibly can. And 50 mil was what they wanted. So a little bit more expensive, but I do think he's a quality centre-back. And I hope he continues to be quality for Arsenal kind of going forward. But leave your thoughts below. What do you think about all the signings? Tavares has been great. Scored a goal. Hope to see more of him. Ben White on holiday. And I'm sure we're going to see more of him as well. And then Sambi Lokonga. I'm sure that this coming week we will see him in the US for the Florida Cup. And he will either come on for a few, maybe 20-minute cameos, and maybe might get kind of 60 minutes run out going on for Arsenal. But such exciting news, Arsenal. Get excited. I think things are moving in the right direction. And it's really all about now, will Mikel Arteta play the right teams at the right time? It's really what it's all about. So, thank you once again for watching my video. Please leave your comments below. It does help. And I'm interested in kind of hearing your thoughts about this, because who Arsenal get for the future is going to affect this coming season. So I'm interested to hear, maybe there's some surprises that I haven't talked about, or maybe I haven't even thought about that you might want to mention. So leave your comments below. Do remember to hit the thumbs up. Click that subscribe button as well, so when new videos come up, you are aware, and also the notification button helps with that. and I will see you all on my next video, which there will be a link in the description below.